Hey Yang Gang, KMO here. Just got off about a 10-hour Amtrak ride. I'm back in Bellows Falls, Vermont. I will be heading back down to Lancaster, Pennsylvania the week after next. But for now, I'm here to basically catch up on the work that I got behind on while I was away. But I wanted to comment, I really just got back. Haven't unpacked. All I did was spend about 5 minutes brushing the cat because she was really letting me know how much she didn't like being left alone for so long. But I wanted to comment on Andrew Yang. People are saying crying on stage. His voice broke, and yeah, he cried a little bit. Here's the thing. I enjoy public speaking. I seek out opportunities to do it. I post videos to YouTube. I do podcasts. I'm not shy about that sort of stuff. But when I'm in front of a group of people and I have to talk about or even think about loved ones that I've lost, I choke up and sometimes I can't continue. You know, being on stage in front of a group of people is like an emotional amplifier. And a few years ago, several years ago now, my oldest son nearly drowned. And I was right there. And fortunately, I got to him. It was a seemingly miraculous rescue. I couldn't even see him when I was reaching and just swiping underwater, and I caught his arm and I pulled him out. But he nearly died. And sometimes when I just think back on that and I think what my life would have been like had I not rolled a 20 when I was groping blindly in this dark river trying to grab him, even if I'm alone, I start to cry. And when that woman was telling Andrew Yang about how one of her children died and how the other child, the twin to the one that died, the one that was killed by a stray bullet, when she was telling Andrew Yang that story, and you could tell he was really connecting with it emotionally, and he was starting to tear up, and his voice was starting to break, there were tears running down my face. So, as far as I can tell, that was a genuine moment. That was not any sort of calculated, demonstration. And I was already in the Yang Gang before that, but that was some real emotional cement there for me. That was a powerful moment. And I don't really have any comment about it other than, wow. And I'm fairly impressed. I went around to all the different, places where you find commentary, and really all the news outlets, even Fox News, they just reported factually what happened, and they just printed what he said. There was no editorializing, no commentary about, real men don't cry, or that those were crocodile tears, or those were staged tears, nothing. They just reported the incident. So I'm thrilled that it gave Andrew Yang a boost. He has been largely ignored by the mainstream corporate media, and they can't ignore him for much longer. He is only one of 8 candidates who have qualified for the fall debates. So the field will be much smaller the next time he is on stage. And that's amazing. He is rising above the noise, and he is pushing past the corporate news gatekeepers, and that is astounding. On this long train ride, I finally listened to the Andrew Yang appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast. Wow. That was a really good interview. I almost turned it off after about half an hour. I was thinking, I've heard all of these talking points before. I've read his book repeatedly. I've read through all the positions on his website. I know what he stands for, and I don't see how this is going to go anywhere, that I haven't been with Andrew Yang before. And I was wrong. I'm glad I stuck with it. That was a really astounding interview. So thank you very much to Joe Rogan for putting Andrew Yang in front of the public, and thanks to Sam Harris for recommending to Joe Rogan that he talked to Andrew Yang. Yay. Good stuff. Oh, one other thing. When I got home, and I've just been home for a few minutes, checked my mail. What was in the mail? Woohoo! So, just a day for excitement and enthusiasm about Andrew Yang running for president. And in that Joe Rogan conversation, he said, look, I'm here to fix problems. I'm not here to achieve something for myself. And if somebody else gets elected, but my being out here and talking about these topics, gets these topics into the public conversation, then I've done my job. And that's really what I meant in that video that I did last week, where I said, look, Andrew Yang is not the Messiah. He's a great candidate. he's a great guy. When I say he's not the Messiah, I'm not running him down at all. And I know a lot of viewers took that the wrong way. But it is the ideas. It is the recognition that we are in the early stages of a profound shift in terms of how people are going to earn a living. You know, the relationship between medical care and employment has been broken for a long time. I know it still works for some of you, but it hasn't worked for me in forever, and it hasn't worked for a lot of people I know in forever. And the same thing is starting to happen to employment or work activity and income. You know, the economy continues to grow, wages don't. The model is broken, and we're still limping along with a broken economic model. We need to fix it. And I remain skeptical about universal basic income, but Andrew Yang has clearly given it a lot of thoughts. I mean, my skepticism is this. There are a lot of ways that you can implement UBI in a way that doesn't help and can even make things worse. And there's got to be a lot of care taken to prevent all the bottom feeders, all the vultures, all the parasites who are so skillful at just drawing money out of the pockets of the poor. You know, it's going to be a challenge to keep the predators and to keep the parasites from sucking up that UBI. But I'm confident that Andrew Yang understands that, and that his policies, one, will have that in mind, and two, you know, he will be monitoring the effectiveness of the policy, and if it's not working, he will amend it. I have confidence that that is the case. All right, I got to go to the grocery store because I haven't eaten all day and there's no food in my fridge. So I will edit this when I get back, get it uploaded. Hey, thanks to everybody who has subscribed recently. I can tell from my analytics, though, that most of the people watching my daily YouTube videos these days are not subscribed to the channel. So please do subscribe. And, click the bell icon. You've heard it all before. This is not your first day on YouTube. But it will help me out a lot. And if you like the message that I'm bringing, you want to help me out, right? All right. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Stay well.